Stuart, what have you said to the players after last night, and what have you been working on today?
Not been working on anything today. It's just been a rest day. So lads have, there's a few injuries that have been getting looked at. I think what we said after the game is what we imagine. As I say, it's only half time, and you've got to make sure we're ready come Sunday.
Do you take inspiration from last year? And Hamilton were 2 down going into the second leg, and do you have to look at it like that? They got an early goal and they played right to the end and got a late goal.
Yeah, of course. That's what we've got to look to. At the moment, myself personally, I feel as though I've been 12 rounds with a heavyweight boxer. I've been punched in the gut and I feel a bit deflated and winded and hurt, as we all do. But I'll be better tomorrow, and I'll certainly be ready on Sunday, and then the lads will be ready as well. So yeah, we'll look at that. We'll look about. It's all about goals, football. I've just watched the first 30 minutes, and I think something like 70% possession. We're in control of the game. We've had a couple of chances. We've got full-backs in wide areas, which we wanted. Nicky Law had the shot, balls flashed across the goal. But we've just not, scored the first goal. And I think their goal gives them a huge lift in confidence. And they went on, and I've no doubt, nobody could have envisaged that performance from Motherwell, even their own players and manager, because, for an away performance, that's been far and away their best away performance of the season. And, they played really well. So you've got to credit Motherwell. We were disappointed in a lot of aspects of our game, possession-wise. But we still showed that spirit to keep in there and get a goal late on, and maybe could have nicked another one. But, it's still about.
How do you approach Sunday then, and do you change anything?
Yeah, we'll change. I think the dynamics of the game will be different. I think if we're honest, listen, Motherwell can only throw it away now. They're in the box seat. They've got a lot of experienced players. We've got a few injury concerns, but listen, come Sunday, that'll matter for nothing. We will play in a different way, and hopefully our possession of the ball, which was the biggest disappointment for me the other night. And I'm not here. Certainly won't be criticising the players' effort. Since I've come in and Kenny's come in, the players have done everything asked upon them. It was just frustrating last night. They picked a night to probably all have under par games. But, again, you've got to credit Motherwell for putting pressure on us like they did. But defensively, we know we should have been a lot better, and we weren't. But it's still all there to play for.
You say you feel deflated. Is that when part of the job is to pick the players back up as well? Because assuming they'll be feeling the same as you.
Of course, yeah, and I don't mind them feeling like that today. It's only natural. We can't expect them to come in with a spring in their step and big smiles on their faces. But we'll work at it tomorrow, and as I say, we'll make sure mentally they're right for Sunday and physically, and then we'll take it from there.
Is your thought process that they've shown enough since you came in that it is now possible to turn it around? It's a different team to when you did?
Yeah, it's certainly. As I say, hats off to Motherwell where they performed. That's probably, no doubt their best away performance of the season by a long, long way, and probably our most disappointing home performance for a long time. As I say, we can talk about different things. Certainly defensively we were poor, but again we didn't play like we would have hoped we'd have played. We were a bit sloppy in possession. We get caught too many times giving the ball away, and we got a little bit nervy and edgy, if I'm honest. But they've worked, all season to try to be in a position for this. It's only half time, as we keep saying. Normally in a cup competition you'd be out and that'd be it, and you'd be tail between your legs. We can't allow that to happen. Everyone's got to go out on Sunday with a desire and a determination, just go to that last whistle, as they did last night, in fairness to them. And have a belief that we will be better. There's no doubt about that. We'll be better, and hopefully Motherwell won't be as.
Sorry about that. Last night you said we were nervous. Did you sense that when they realised what is at stake here?
No, I just think sometimes you're good and sometimes you're not so good, and it's just disappointing last night. There were too many people under par, really, but that can happen in football. But the great thing about football is it can change so quickly. If we can go to Fair Park, and don't necessarily have to be an early goal, but if we can get the first goal, we'll take it from there, and that'll be our aim. But at the moment, slightly, a little bit flat, but we've got 48 hours to be prepared, and know 100% we will become Sunday.
Stuart, as I was coming in, I noticed a wee placard outside. I've taken a picture. It's one of the supporters has put it there. It says, "Nothing is impossible. Have faith in yourselves. Believe."
I want to support. That was me. Yeah, of course. As I say, you know, I mean, everybody's got to go into it. We will look to the Hamilton result last season. We'll look to other results. You can look. There's a history of football results when things have been turned around. 2 goals is certainly not insurmountable without any means, but it's easy to say it. We've got to go and do it, and we've got to believe we can do it. And our players know that we underperformed the other night, and we can be better. And if we are better, hopefully we can put enough pressure on Motherwell and get the goals that we need.
You expect Motherwell to play on the counter-attack as effectively as they did last night, and then you've got to...
Well, I hope they don't play as effectively as they did, but we certainly knew what were coming. We knew, you know, McDonald was going to play in middle field and Irwin was going to be up top and the 2 wide men. Now, that's good and the counter-attacked well, but if we weren't been so poor in possession early on, I mean, if you look back at the game, we get our both fullbacks to the dead ball line early on and get in behind their wide man. You know, the final ball, we could have so easily gone and goal up. Lawsy's had a good chance. We didn't. That's what I say. It's all about scoring goals. Their first goal takes a little deflection and goes over Cammy. The second goal's a, you know, I heard somebody last night talk about zonal marking. We know it's zonal mark. We man mark. And, you know, whoever was giving McManus to pick up was miles away from him, and he knows that. And the third goal, we've got comfortable possession of the ball in their half, and from their point of view, it's a very good goal. From our point of view, we shouldn't give the ball away unopposed like that. And they broke. And all about Ainsworth. I brought him to the football club, and all about Irwin. I gave him a 3-year deal when he was a young lad. And we know about Marvin Johnson because that's, you know, the player that Motherwell paid money for. So we know their threats. But also, I think all over the park for them, you know, the 3 boys in midfield and in the back line and the goalkeeper, all probably played well above how they have been playing this season. So it's now down to us, for us to put in a performance that, you know, goes beyond what we showed the other night.
Stuart, everyone's talked about this journey back to the top flight over the past 3 years. Surely it would only be natural that the players are feeling a bit of the pressure of that.
Well, you know, they've had 90 minutes or maybe 120 minutes, whatever it may be. Do we go out, go into his shells, feel pressure, feel tense, feel nervy, or do we say it's the last game of the season? What have we got to lose? Obviously, we've got a place of, you know, to get into the Premier League. But what really, nobody gives us any hope. Nobody gives us any, you know, think that we can go and do it. So anybody who wants to come on Sunday as a player and be nervy and edgy, there's no, we don't need that. We just need big characters and big hearts and energy and a lot of luck. And as I say, you know, it can be done. It's not out of the realms of possibility. We can go and win the game.
And if you were able to overturn that deficit, where would that rank in your personal management?
Well, I'll talk about that if it ever gets to it, but there's a long way to go. But, you know, as I say, there's still a lot of football played in the tie.
You need to keep a clean sheet on Sunday.
I would like to think, well, we would like to keep a clean sheet. I would think we probably would have to do. And again, you know, you look at certain games, you look at the Hibs game we went and we got a clean sheet there obviously in the first league game. You know, we defended well enough really the other day maybe to have a clean sheet again. But we certainly need to defend better as a group. We know that. We can't make the individual errors we made, and we need to be more resolute defending set plays. But, you know, the lads, once they get out on that park, and then there'll be Rangers supporters there in the thousands willing them on. And as they were last night, you know, and I've got to say, it's really difficult to support your team when they're 3-0 down. But they got behind us, and, you know, in the last 20-25 minutes, we had a real good go at it. And as I say, a goal, you know, offside, great goalkeeping save, one just past the post. We need to play like we did in the last 20 minutes for the full 90 minutes.
Has Shane Ferguson give you food for thought?
Shane always gives us food for thought because he's a good player, good footballer, but he's just not had enough football. I think he's been out 6-7 months now. He's only managed to get a couple of under-20 games because he's had a couple of knocks and a couple of niggles. And, you know, you see when we go to Queen of the South and we play Stevie Smith up one and he scores a fantastic free kick for us, and it's a bit harsh to leave then Stevie out, which he has been left out of that. But certainly in an attacking mode when we need him. He was never going to play at Hibs, Shane, because obviously we were going there more of a sort of defensive setup. But it certainly comes into my thoughts for the game this weekend.
Will you practice penalties?
We will be practising penalties on Saturday, yeah.
And is that, a realistic sort of get part of your game plan there, so that maybe 3 goals might be too much, but 2 goals sort of takes you into their own extra time?
We'll see, but I think it's certainly something that the lads. In fact, we've left it up to the boys in the last couple of times. Then we've wanted to feel the need to go and take a penalty kick. We'll do it. Then we're confident and comfortable. But you've got to be prepared because as I say, we've got to believe and we've got to have an aim and a desire and a courage really to go and say, listen, what's the worst that can happen to us?
Do you believe the guys have sensed grasped the importance of this game coming up and what it means?
I don't know at the moment. I've kept away from the boys today. As I said, they've been a little bit later. We've trained with the other boys that didn't play. We've had a good training session. There's probably out of the 14 that train with us today, there'll be 3 or 4 that'll be involved. So I'll be more concerned with them. The rest have been with the physio and the massage guys. So yeah, but we'll get into the boys tomorrow. I've edited a few clips already, little areas where we didn't do what we wanted to do, certain areas that we did, and we'll highlight the positives and obviously look at where we can hopefully get back into the game.